Hi everyone. Today we are going to see about the kinds of shares. First one is meaning of shares. The literal meaning of share is a part or portion, but in the context of share capital of a company, shares has a different meaning. It can be said that every part of joint capital of a company is a share. By acquiring the shares of a company, any individual can become company shareholders. In a joint stock company, the capital of a company divided into equal part. Each part is called as the share. Let us see about the characteristics of a company. The share should be considered as a movable property. Numbers, it should be countable with the number. The company issuing the share certificate, the registration of the shares, the right of interest, the shareholders having the rights to receive the interest, passive property. Types of shares. The shares has been classified into two, equity shares as well as preference shares. Equity shares and equity shares normally known as the ordinary shares is a part of ownership where each member is a fractional owner and initiate the maximum entrepreneurial liability related to a trading concern. These type of shareholders is any organization possess the right to vote. Features of equity share capital. Equity share capital remain with the company. It is given back only when the company is closed. Equity shareholders possess voting rights and selected by the company's management. The dividend rate of the equity shareholders depends upon the profit of the concern. There is no fixed rate of the dividend on equity share capital. Types of equity share capital. First one is authorized share capital. Authorized share capital means the maximum limit of the company issued in their lifetime. Issued share capital means the company issued to their own public. Subscribed capital means the share capital subscribed by the public. Paid up capital means the amount paid by their own shareholders. Bonus shares. Bonus shares means instead of dividend declaration, the company issue their shares to the existing shareholders itself. Right shares. Right Right shares issued for the based upon special right like dividend declaration or voting rights. Sweat equity shares. These shares issued to their own employees of the concern. Preference shares. Preference shares are also known as the preferred stock. It is an exclusive share option which is enhanceable shareholders to receive dividends announced by the company before the equity shareholders. Preference shares provide the shareholders with the specific rights to claim the dividends during this company lifetime and also with the option to claim repayment of capital in case of winding up of the company. Features of a preference shares. Preferential dividend options for shareholders. Preference shareholders do not have the right to vote. Shareholders have a right to claim the assets in case of winding up of the company. Fixed dividend payout of the shareholders, irrespective of profit earned, act as a source of hybrid finance. Types of preferences. First classification. Right to dividend. Right to dividend based upon the right to dividend. It will be classified into two, cumulative preference shares and non-cumulative preference shares. And cumulative preference shares means the dividend should be accumulated. For example, if the company earn loss from 1 year means that year dividend also given in the forthcoming year. Non-cumulative preference shares means the dividend should not accumulated. Based upon the conversion, the share is classified into two, convertible preference shares, non-convertible preference shares. Convertible preference shares means the preference shares may be converted into equity shares. Non-convertible preference shares means the shares will not be convertible. Based upon the right to vote, it should be classified into two, participating preference shares and non-participating preference shares. Participating preference shares means they want to take the part in the management. Non-participating preference shares, they don't have any voting rights. They are not able to take part in the management activities. Let us see the difference between equity shares and preference shares. Based upon voting rights, the preference shareholders does not have the voting rights, but equity shareholders they have the voting rights. based upon payment of dividend. Preference shareholders have the fixed dividend rate, but equity shareholder doesn't have any fixed dividend rate. Replacement of capital. The preference shareholders have the preferential right. Equity shareholders don't have preferential right. Rate of dividend. The dividend rate is fixed. In equity shares, there is no fixed rate of dividend. Convertibility. The preference shareholders may be convert their shares into equity shares. It is not possible in equity shares. Redemption. The preference shares are to be redeemed, but equity shares they are not able to redeem their shares. Assessment. Kindly answer the following question. What is the distinguished equity shares from the preference shares in terms of ownership and dividend payment within a company? Second question. How does the insurance of equity shares and the preference shares impact in the capital structures and voting rights in the corporations?